I'm very open to questions like this. Okay? So let me explain this to you how I mean. So what happens? Right now you say there is no person. And I say that you pick up the pretense of a person. Let me explain to you how that happens. There is no person right now. And then the thought comes and says, oh, but you must be a better mother, for example. This thought can come like this, you must be a better mother. Now this thought is presuming that you are what? It is presuming that you are the imagined person. Isn't it? It is not speaking to consciousness. It's not saying, God, you have to be a better mother. It is not speaking to awareness, saying, witnessing, you have to become better at witnessing or something like that. It is speaking to your idea of yourself as a person. Now, if you give belief, which means that if you say, yes, this thought is meaningful for me, you have picked up the pretense of the person because the thought was only speaking to you as a person. You see? So the answer for this how do I drop this pretense is very simple. It is to just not believe your next thought. Not to find the person and drop the pretense, not like this. Just in your not believing your next thought, you will see that the person is not here and I'm not pretending to be a person by not buying any of what this salesman is selling me. Which means I'm not giving my belief to this thought. That's all. It is only the thoughts which are speaking to you as if you are a person. Being is just being. The outward appearance is just shining for your entertainment or whatever explanation. And seeing, the pure awareness is just aware. It is only these thoughts which come and say that you are just a drop in this ocean. You are a separate drop. There is no other sense of separation. That's why when a child is born, it does not feel this sense of separation. It is only after this conditioning starts, the thoughts start, that this sense of being separate. A child does not want to own anything. It does not see mine or another. You see? It does not have this sense of ego. It starts developing at the age of 2, 2.5. Then this sense comes that this was mine, this is another.
Father, then if that thought, I got you what you're saying now, because we pick up the thoughts, that person identity comes up. So where does me and others separation come from? Are they also like thoughts, or how does it? Just want some clarification there. Thank you.
This separation of me and another is only because of thought. Because right now, where is the me, where is the another? This body is, this hand is another appearance, that one is another appearance, this table is another appearance. All these sensations are appearing. Where is the me? There is none. So that the awareness is here, even the sense of being is perceived. But in the appearance, I cannot separate this. It's just appearing. It's the thought which says, this is another, this is Palak, this is Anandi, this is Suchitra. It is the mind which comes and labels what is saying. So you see a glass of water, and the mind will immediately start labeling. Oh, this is clean water, this is dirty water, this should be drunk. All this is just coming from the mind. Without this mind, there is not possibility to separate anything. All of this is one big appearance, including this body.
Because we are labeling the other person as a person and not looking at them as awareness, like we're looking at ourselves. Correct?
We just, awareness is here.
But when I'm looking at somebody else.
Yes, then we don't have to label that anything, including awareness. You see, the tendency can come that let me not call him a person, let me call him awareness. It's not true like that. Awareness is here. Appearance is there, which is coming from inside the awareness itself. So all of this is the play of my being. When being is on, then all this seeming others, the appearance, all this is on. When being is off, nothing else is there. This is true oneness. Oneness is not, oh, I love this one so much, I love this one so much. That is not oneness. Oneness is to see this entire phenomenal play is appearing in the light of my being. It is coming from me. The entire universe is this one projection.
So when I wake up, the projection is on.
Yes, when we say waking state comes, immediately there is a sense of me, isn't it? In sleep, there is no sense of me. So, sense I am wakes up, the world is there. But you are unchanged. You are aware that I am sleeping. You are not able to report I am sleeping. When you wake up and the ability to report comes, you say, I was sleeping. You don't say, I don't know. It was 11 just now, now it's 7, I don't know. You don't say like that. You see, you are aware that there is a state called sleep state. The mind cannot understand this. Don't worry about it.
Finally, saying don't label the other person as awareness also.
Yes.
But then there's nothing.
Yes. No labels are required. When a child is born, it is not labeling the world. It does not know the labels.
So you're saying there's nothing there.
That is also a label.
I'm not sure if we can understand.
Yes, yes. It's just in the presence of being, the play of this energetic appearance comes. Some energy is playing outside, some energy is seen like this, some energy seems to be coming here, some energy seems to be an emotion. So this energetic play is happening.
That's why you feel separate from other people and judge people.
Yes, yes. It's when the labeling guy comes and says this one good person, this one bad person, this one. All this labeling comes. And this separation happens. That's why don't replace one label with another. For ourselves, also don't say I was a person and now I'm God. Another also don't say, oh, this, I thought he's just a body, but he is actually awareness. Not needed this. Then the true insights will be here. See, in the light of my being, all this play of appearance starts. Mr. Ananta is here. Ms. Palak is here. Like this. And the adventure continues. It's like a fun movie.
The appearance of the master is also an appearance.
Yes, of course. Because the true master is your own being. True master is your own being. There is nothing special about this body which is here. It is just that we got conditioned to relying on name and form. Yeah, I used to say like this, that even when we are chatting with someone and we've not met them before, we'll say, can you send me a photo so I can put a face to the name? No, because we are so related to. That's why that maybe there's this whole argument about idols versus not having idols and whether we should have pictures of God or they should be the formless one. You see, and this comes from the lack of understanding, actually. Just lack of understanding. So in some religions, like Hinduism, if you read a Hindu text, you will know that all the sages have always said that the truth is formless. And then why are there so much form? There's so many different gods. It is because in this conditioned world, we've become used to relating to name and form. So it's a very democratic system. You like the playful aspect of God, you like Krishna, you worship Krishna. You like this strong, silent aspect of God, you worship Shiva. You like the righteous aspect of God, you worship Ram. So you start from there. But all of these imagery is meant to take you to the formless. You see? Even your devotion to the image will take you towards a formless realization of oneness. So all the world's religions are saying the same thing, which is that God is formless. You see? But because we have got conditioned to relating to form, that's why the Christians have a cross. It's a form, you see. They're not saying that the cross is God, but it's just something to relate to so that you feel closer to the truths. So all the ones which also don't, they preach that God has no form, will have some symbols which they use to represent God or the feeling of devotion to God. I forgot where the question started. What was the question?
So my appearance is different from everybody else's appearances, Father, right?
My appearance
Means what I'm seeing as appearances is different from what you're seeing as appearances.
Yes. So you go to sleep and you have a dream. So many people in the dream also. Where are they actually?
In my head only.
You can say projection of your own being. So all this world of appearances is a projection of your own being. Because true oneness will not come until there's this belief that there is me and another. You can only pretend, oh, I love everyone. I love everyone. Just another part of the pretense. But true oneness comes from the inside that all of this is me. This is my play. You see? This body, that body, that. Just like a dream. There is no difference actually between waking state and dream state. It is because we are inside this right now and this inside this, so I can say this is the waking state. There was an early morning meeting today and I was blissfully in a dream, and then my wife came and woke me up. So that seemed very much like the waking state. There is no difference. When you're inside the dream, you cannot say. Just the same way that you can have a lucid dream and say this is a dream, in the waking state also you can say that it's all just been a dream. You cannot force this inside. It must emerge organically on its own. And ultimately, I can say that it's not even important. To see the world as a dream right now is not important. To see that the person does not exist even in the dream, even in this realm, whether you say it is real or a dream, it's okay. This realm is here, it's appearing. Show me the person that is here. So that's why they say that the person is a second level delusion. Actually, I've never heard anybody else say this, but I say that the person is a second level delusion. Does not even exist in this state, in this play of phenomena. Then all this trouble about I must now feel one with everyone, I must now love everyone. All this effort which is needless doesn't ever get anywhere. Because if there's a sense that I personally am doing so much to love everyone, then the response doesn't come from the other side. Again, you say, see, I'm trying to be so loving and you are not responding. As long as there's a person, it doesn't work.
So, Father, yesterday what I was saying about the other person, I can't, like there's resistance that he's not the doer. That question only doesn't arise when you understand.
It vanishes itself. When you come to the understanding that all of this is your projection. The projection
so there's nobody to blame and there's nobody to hold a grudge against.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And all these insights are coming very naturally to you because the belief in the imagined person is getting dropped. And that itself creates so much space. We're just these frightened ghosts, as my master says, just running around chasing our thoughts all the time, saying, I want this, I want this, I want this, not this, not this. This is what. Then there's no space. So we draw our belief from this one, this sense of separation. So much space and all these insights just come naturally. So the one who has not studied anything at all, who has not read a book, like Nisargadatta Maharaj, I doubt very much whether he read a book. And yet he was speaking the same. So no intellectual knowledge is needed. Just this belief in personhood is withdrawn, and all insights. It's just naturally what you see right now. Don't need to refer to any knowledge of anything. So the greatest Gyanis have never studied anything at all. Do you see how funny that is?